Start.
I like threw all of my stuff off my desk because I needed the space, so it's all sitting there.
Okay, looks like.
No, I'm just saying like so you can sit. Ashley said it won't let her in either. Uh-oh. I had this problem the other day too with mine.
So they should hit the link and then they'll have to join and then they'll be put in the waiting room and then I'll admit that I see them pop up and I just let them in.
Okay, so
They can also just type in the number, the meeting ID number.
do you know what it is off the top of your, well,
Yep.
can you?
821.
Okay.
821. Did you get that?
Yep.
2341 7280. I always have a problem clicking on the link when it's through Messenger to get into Zoom. I almost always have to enter it.
Oh, here comes somebody on an iPhone, so we'll let them in.
Try to hop back on afterwards.
Text and say, hey, are you hopping on? Because I know she was one that really wanted to get on.
Bill, I have not had this one since it first came out, but oh my gosh, it's really tasty.
You know, that's funny you say that because Eric and I just recently had that one too. You know me, I'm a little particular about my one or two flavors that I seem to be stuck on. But yeah, a green Skittle tends to come to mind when I had that one. Yeah, it's good.
So
Yeah, and
you
go
can
ahead.
comment on here, right? You
Say that
can.
again?
So can anybody say like, there's iPhones on here? Who are you?
Yeah, they can go into their chat.
Yeah, so there's two people that just joined the call that just joined on their iPhone, but we don't know who you are.
So if anybody is on here that doesn't know, the gal that you can see with the glasses, that's Dawn. And then the gentleman there is Bill, and he and his wife are hosting this tonight with Dawn and I. And so, oh, Ashley, hi. So that's my best friend, Ashley. You can't see her. She's a little white emoji right now. And then we've got Krissa, and I don't know who that other person is. Nicole, is that you? Maybe we can see in the comments. Kim. Okay.
Kim.
All right. Well, I know that Nicole is trying to get on right now.
Okay. Yeah, I can kind of keep tabs on if anybody pops up in the waiting room.
Okay. Is that noise like other people getting on, or I don't even know? Sorry, everybody. I'm kind of like, I'm old to Zoom, but like renewing my life to Zoom. It's not
Zoom
like
is, yeah.
There's my Ashley.
I'll share my video for like 2 seconds. I am in like full brain mush mode because I was on video and in the office all day today and then had to drive home. So normally I would like jump right in and like give you Zoom tips, but my brain's not there today. But I am here to listen to all of it.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley.
Yeah.
Does Ashley have a ketone that she could put down to take care of her brain mush?
Not yet. Needs to have I can't. That's my best friend, and I have not given her a ketone sample yet. I know.
For the record, life has been kind of crazy, and I'm also trying to start businesses and working a job full time. So it's not totally on her end.
He's gonna have a ketone in her soon.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I would love some ketones for brain mush because these office days, man.
I tell you, right?
Oh my gosh. I can't believe. Yeah, that's a good point, Ash. Oh my gosh. And then we have Jen behind me, everybody. Jen. She's also with Prove It. Sorry, I didn't even like hello. Yes.
Pull up a seat, Jen. Up, and then here's the other part of Erica and Bill.
Yeah, we're in literally a 2-foot space right here. I wasn't expecting anybody else to be in this room.
And here
Here,
comes
guys.
Hi.
here comes Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
She's still connecting with her audio. There we go.
There she is.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
Kids are making dinner.
So Tierney and Don, do you want to go ahead and get started, or are you waiting on a few more people?
Well, I think that the people that I'm waiting on, they might end up just hopping in whenever they can. I don't know. Let me message Penny quick.
Okay.
Oh, we're just getting all these messages that are saying school is canceled.
Oh, my, yeah.
Geez, already?
Well, Dawn, you knew that, right?
It was canceled before 4 o'clock today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't even home from getting the kids from school, and we already had a cancellation.
Let me
Crazy.
show you guys this. Can you, oh wait, I
You have
always
to
do
go
this,
super
but I'm
close.
gonna go really close. Can you see this at all?
Yeah.
Do you
You're
see
supposed
that?
to have a lot of snow.
Is that
Sorry, it's not the right way to do it because you
Oh.
really can probably not see it. 10 to 14 inches is where we're in. I mean, you don't have that much predicted, I don't think. Well, maybe.
No,
We have a half an inch of ice.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah.
have not canceled our schools yet. Our superintendent is really last minute, like we'll get a call like at 6:05 on Thursday morning, when by like 9 PM on Wednesday, we're like, I don't even think an Eskimo could go to school. But like she'll wait until the morning. I don't know, that's just tough stuff, you know, maybe there's a chance.
we never ever have our school district does not cancel that early ever. This is like the first time. I mean, Dawn literally works for the district, so like,
Yeah.
like no way, Jose, that just does not happen.
No way.
That-
The people that work for me in my kitchen, they're like, so what do you predict? And I'm like, oh, we're not closing tomorrow, but tomorrow I'll predict for Thursday, but not until.
Yeah.
And I was literally on the phone with Tierney. Some more people are jumping. I was literally on the phone with Tierney, and she's like, the school's closed. I'm like, no, it's not. I didn't
Hang on a
expect
minute. Hang on.
Yeah.
There you go. Now transfer's not twice. There we go.
Here.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. That's funny. Hey, you can use her ring light. Has a little iPhone holder on it behind you.
Oh yeah. It's a ring light. It's for all the wild evenings. What can I say?
Reverb now.
I mean, these are all my people on here. So Erica and Bill, now you know I'm just a crazy person. What can I say?
That's okay.
We had a tiny indication before you said that you know, you were kind of special. No, just picking. I mean, like,
Oh,
there's,
I just-
Tierney, there's nobody I've met that can actually measure to your awesomeness and energy. And I hope you take that as the highest of all compliments, because you really truly do bring it and keep it real. That's the other part. You keep it real.
Keep it real.
Thanks. Definitely. I definitely don't. Oh, am I echoing still?
Yeah.
Oh, that's let's
You
turn
didn't
the
mute it.
volume down. I did mute it, but I didn't turn your volume down.
There we go.
See, we're learning. Actually, I don't usually sit in the same room with like another Zoom. But anyway, so all right. Well, obviously you guys all know I'm Tierney. I am definitely oh, Ashley, I love you. She's commenting nice things about me.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys know that I'm in love with these ketones. You guys already know that Dawn is who has introduced me to these, and that I have already seen some amazing physical changes and things like that. So that's kind of why I wanted you guys all to come here, because everybody's been asking me all these amazing questions, and all I can tell you is what I've experienced. And really, that's what I've got. I don't have much more than that, but I've got Dawn and Erica and Bill here that can also tell you their experience. And they just decided that they were gonna kind of help me out in talking to all of you at the same time. I feel like this is kind of an easier way to like get the information out instead of having you have to like go back and forth in the chat. So hopefully this will, if you have questions tonight, this will answer some of them. And then Yeah, so I don't know. I'm kind of like just throwing this all out there right now at you. So I don't know. I don't know really what I'm doing. So Erica and Nicole, help me
Yeah.
out.
That's okay. Tierney, so I love that because honestly, 34 months ago when Erica and I were introduced to ketones, we had no idea what they were and what they were supposed to do and all the things either.
Yeah.
And actually it was a Zoom very similar to this where we were like, okay, let's just jump on it and let's listen to somebody who's been doing this a lot longer than us to hear what exactly is even in this packet and why are we feeling so amazing and why are we losing fat and like what's what is it, right? So this is actually a really good forum to do that. And, you know, if you have other people that, you know, we're not able to come on tonight and are like, oh, shoot, I missed it. We can do this as many times as you want. A lot of people helped us along the way. And so it's just a way for us to sort of pay it forward, if you will. And just out of curiosity, though, are the folks that are joining us here tonight, have all of them either, have they tried ketones yet? Or are any of them drinking them currently?
I think on here, Nicole is, I think other than Jen, I think Nicole is, who is that iPhone? I can't remember.
That's Kim.
Oh, Kim. So Kim is currently, today was her first day trying them.
Okay.
And then Ashley has never tried them. Chris, I don't know if you've ever tried them. Nicole loves them. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You ever
I
tried
have
them?
not.
Yay. Well, I'm excited for you to try them. We're going to have to get you some samples tomorrow. I think that would, well, if we don't have okay. Ice them again.
Baby steps.
Bring the bottle.
The easiest way to explain keto. So first of all, if anybody has any questions at all during this, like honestly, raise your hand, come off mute, put your video on, just ask a question. No question is a dumb question. Probably the easiest way to explain what ketones are from my perspective, and I know Erica's got a really eloquent way of explaining it as well. But a lot of people have never heard of what a ketone is, but they may have heard of the keto diet. Okay. And that's probably the easiest starting point. The keto diet has been along for many years, became probably a little bit more popular 7 or 8 years ago. And the keto diet is really a high saturated fat, high protein, low carb, low sugar nutritional diet. The reason why it works and the reason why it's so popular is because when you do that, your liver creates ketones because it's no longer able to operate and be fueled by carbohydrates. And the ketones get into your blood and put you in what's referred to as a state of ketosis. That is the main goal of the ketogenic diet. And when you're in the state of ketosis, you are literally burning your fat for fuel instead of relying on carbohydrates to run your body to get through a typical day.
And sugar for energy, glycogen.
Glycogen, yeah.
You can run off of glucose or you can run off of ketones. And our body was made to run off of ketones. Problem, as we've evolved, unfortunately, is we tend to gravitate to a line of products and establishments and, big brand names, Starbucks, all the fast food chains, but just brands that have put fillers and carbs and sugars in our products, and we form an addiction to those, right? And they become habitual. Some of them we grew up on, so we continue to have the same purchase traits that we had when we were little, and our moms bought those products and so on and so forth. But back to what Bill was ending with is our body has two fuel sources, which is running off of glycogen or running off of ketones, and our bodies actually prefer to run off of ketones.
Yeah. So really what we have for the first time 7 years ago is a technology. That's exactly what Keto OS Nat, that's the packaging. It's a technology. It is literally scientifically using the ester salts, a ketone salt, beta hydroxybutyrate. It's an identical match to what your liver creates when you do the diet perfectly. You're able to put your body into the state of ketosis through a drink. It's literally like the easy button for people that want to get into that state of ketosis for the optimal way to fuel your body. Prior to that, really the only way to get into that state is to starve yourself. Like if you fast for, 48, 50 hours, your liver will start creating ketones too. So that's another way to get into ketosis. Do the diet or do the drink. The cool thing about this, just from a technology perspective and from a market perspective, is it's the only product on the market that is that bioidentical match to what your liver creates. It's backed by 8 US patents, which is really important in this space because there's a lot of, you'll see like a lot of things, even on Facebook, like keto pills and real ketones, and, there's a few knockoff brands, but none of them can elevate your blood ketone levels to the levels that this can. And so that's the important thing. And a lot of people will talk about, well, is this a weight loss thing? And the reality is it's not a weight loss thing. It's a mental clarity thing first. It's a fuel for your brain. It's a fuel for your body. But because when you're in ketosis and you are burning your fat for fuel, people lose fat. And when you lose fat, you lose weight. But a real distinct difference, and the reason why I say it's not a weight loss supplement, is you don't lose muscle. So a lot of diets, when people are like, well, I'm on the such and such diet, and they change what they're eating significantly and they lose weight, a lot of those people, what they don't realize is that because they're really starving themselves of nutrients and starving themselves just in general, they're losing muscle. Ketones in this state, with the ingredients that come with this, actually preserve your muscle. And so that's really important. But what a lot of people notice, and Tiereny, I think you've already experienced this in the short period of time that you've been drinking ketones, is literally the inches just start to melt off. And that's a really important side effect of drinking ketones. For us, like budgeting for ketones was a conversation, but it wasn't that big of a deal. What was actually a bigger deal for us was the budget for the new clothes we had to buy, because everything was no longer fitting correctly. And mind you, we started drinking ketones right in the middle of COVID, right? So even just going to a store to buy new clothes was a challenge in of itself. So, I mean, that's probably the easiest way to explain what it is. I guess at that point, does anybody have any questions that maybe we could start with?
Oh, I was just going to point out, I saw Nicole's comment. I tried the keto diet and failed. Dawn's been, drinking ketones and sharing ketones with others for about the same time that we have. So we're all very close to being in this community for 3 years. And I don't know, we've heard that we've heard that once or twice a week for the last 3 years. The diet is really hard to attain. It takes your body 2 or 3 days to get into nutritional ketosis.
Hello?
If you do it diet alone. And then once you're in nutritional ketosis, if you're just doing the diet, it's like such a mentally hard game to be perfect in measuring food and getting your body to have the perfect amount of macros with food. So your liver, gets into nutritional ketosis to make ketones. So yeah, Nicole, like we are with you with that statement, because we've just heard it from so many people that said, I love keto. I know it works. I know I lost this much weight, but they're like, I couldn't live the diet lifestyle. And people will say to us, like, shut up, this drink does that?
Yeah.
And we're like, yep. And they're like, no way, there's no way. They're like, I had to measure this and eat that. And I couldn't make a mistake, and I couldn't have a cookie, and it was Christmas and it sucked because I literally couldn't have my grandma's cookies because I had worked so hard to get into ketosis. And, we're like, yep, you just eat the cookies, rip open a pack, and within 1 hour, you're back in nutritional ketosis. And then that one pack keeps you there for about, we say up to 6 hours, but it's really between, 2 and 5 hours is pretty accurate for most people. And you can measure that with a blood test to check your ketone blood levels. So, I mean, Nicole, thank you for adding that, because we've heard that many times. So this is something that's going to be mind blowing to you, because you'll be like, boop, this is unbelievable. This was so easy and yummy.
Well, and I think just to piggyback off what Erica said too, a lot of people will say, well, wait a second. So when I drink ketones, does that mean I also have to do the keto diet in order to get the most out of this? The simple answer is no, you do not. There is kind of like a good, better, best model when it comes to eating. Ketones, what they'll do is that they'll satiate you, that you won't crave carbs or sugar, quite frankly, because you won't need them any longer. Your body, like Erica said, your body prefers to run off of ketones versus the carbs and sugars. And so therefore you simply don't need them. What we have noticed is, and we kind of refer to this as like keto adaptation, as you get your body used to running off ketones, you simply just start steering away naturally away from carbs and sugars as part of your diet. It just happens naturally. But you do not have to do the keto diet.
And you can eat carbs and you can have sugar.
And it doesn't knock you out of ketosis. Tiereny is like, yep, what'd you have? Had a donut this morning. So yeah, I mean, you don't. And like Erica said, once if you're like, well, shoot, I do want a slice of chocolate cake, go ahead, have it, and then rip open a pack when you're done and put another one down, and you're back in ketosis, you're back in the game. Whereas the diet, you're out of ketosis for having that piece of chocolate cake. And to Erica's point, you have to take 3, 4, 5 days to get back in.
Oh, this is good.
So anyways, Ashley's got a question.
Just after drinking soda. Oh, we have soda.
Oh,
Wow. Dawn, you even could tell a couple stories about soda drinkers yourself. You were a Pepsi addict, I mean, not to call you a Pepsi addict, but you were.
Yeah.
From the time I woke up in the morning until I went to bed.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. That's all I drank. And then haven't had it since October of 2020, not had a Pepsi. So it's been pretty amazing.
So basically,
But I bought one a year later.
I was gonna say, basically, when you started drinking ketones, did you still drink soda? But then what did you find? Like, how soon did that change?
No, I actually had just had COVID, and then I started drinking ketones. So I never picked the Pepsi back up again because it tasted funky, but I knew that would have passed. I would have started drinking it again because that's just what I would have done. It was my desire. And it was like the passion. It was a hobby. That's how many Pepsis I can drink a day. And so I was saved by the grace of ketones coming into my life about the time I probably would have started picking up the Pepsi. So I just never went back to it because the taste would have been funky.
Yeah.
It'd have been too sweet and sugary for me compared to what I like now. So
Yeah, Ashley, I think that this is actually you found your product. You found your solution here. So it's all natural, by the way. I know you had a question about the environmental footprint of the company and things of that nature. The ingredients are basically ketones, minerals, and vitamins. There are no artificial flavors, no synthetics, no chemicals. The product itself is almost 8 years old. When it was first created, there were some synthetics in the solution, and they wanted to get to that all natural state. This is why it's now called NAT, which stands for
Nutritionally Advanced Technology.
It's a paired therapeutic ketone. And so, but the reason why I was saying, you want to get off your Coke, there's two varieties of the ketones. There's charged and uncharged. The one that I'm showing you here in this solid color packet has caffeine. So if you feel like your soda addiction is also a caffeine addiction, we would tend to probably gravitate towards recommending that you for sure try the charged variety, because there is a little caffeine in there that'll help with your as you start to transition away from soda and to just relying on ketones for your energy. There is no sugar, and so but with that caffeine, it's about like the equivalent of like an 8-ounce cup of coffee's worth of caffeine. So it's not like a huge caffeine rush or like a Monster drink or a Red Bull. Establishing the state of ketosis, whether you're drinking the caffeine-free or the caffeinated one, it's the same. It's just that the caffeinated ones do help people that have a bit of a caffeine addiction from soda. My sister, when she started drinking ketones, she was a Diet Coke addict. Literally would go to McDonald's in the morning and buy I don't even know what size it was. It was ridiculous. It was almost like a tub of Diet Coke on ice. Do that on the way to work, drink Diet Coke out of the refrigerator in cans, and then on the way home, stop at McDonald's for another tub of Diet Coke. After about 3 weeks of drinking ketones, she actually literally messaged me and said, "Hey, thanks for saving me money." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Bill," she's like, I don't drink Diet Coke at all anymore." She's like, "Ketones are actually cheaper for me than what my Diet Coke addiction was." And so she completely went off the Diet Coke and attributed to ketones. So this is something that I think would really help you for sure. Can you drink too many in a day? I average 4 to 5 32-ounce bottles of water a day. Okay, so awesome question, Carissa. I would say continue to drink that much water. That's an amazing. I mean, that's a great water consumption. It actually complements putting your body in ketosis very well, is to stay hydrated. As far as the ketones go, I mean, you would have to probably drink 74 packs of these to get to a state of ketoacidosis. So no, probably not. I don't think there would be any reason to drink that many, but maybe Tiereny, you would. I don't know.
No, I'm gonna say there's a few people that are sitting there in the waiting room.
Oh yeah, I do see that. My bad.
Okay.
It's Amanda, and then it's you again, I think.
And then there's a Brooke.
Tell Brooke to come in again. I didn't see her. Unless she came in under your name.
Oh, no, I think that's me. But there's a Brooke. Let me see what her name is in here.
Well, there's Tiereny, and then there's Tiereny Craker.
That's because I'm on my computer too.
I see.
I just can't. So I wanted to be in twice. But Brooke is showing me, it's just saying ketone information chat, and it's in the waiting room. So, but
Yeah,
that was it.
tell her to hang up and come back in. I think she popped off. So Ashley, hopefully I answered that question, Ashley. Yeah. So
Hey, Bill.
Carissa, yep.
Bill, in addition to what Ashley was asking about drinking too much, so even when we saw Michael just a week or 2 weeks ago up in Madison or whatever, is that if you were to drink, your body's only going to consume what it can use, and otherwise you're just going to pee the rest of it out.
Yeah,
if you're drinking it.
Yeah. You're
just going to pee it out. So it's not going to do any, it does no harm to you whatsoever. If your body doesn't need the amount that you're drinking, you'll just pee it out.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, a lot of people will ask too, and I'll kind of keep an eye to see if Brooke comes back in. Well, how many ketones do I need to drink? We always just say start with one and then just kind of go from there. For an optimal experience, having 2 ketones a day is optimal. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. This pack of ketones will keep you in the state of ketosis for about 5 to 6 hours. So if you have one at 10 in the morning, there's no reason to have one at 1 in the afternoon. That's, because you're still in ketosis. So just kind of spread it out. I will admit that, Erica and I, because we've been drinking ketones for almost 3 years now, we've added movement to our day. We understand like when our body's in sort of that optimal ketosis state, what it feels like. And so we're probably on that 2 to 3 ketones daily. There's a variety of other ketone products that Prove It offers that are slightly different, that you kind of just mess around with and introduce to your routine as you see fit. So, but there's really no reason to consume much more than that unless you're, preparing for a marathon or some CrossFit competition or something along those lines. But starting off with just 1 daily is plenty to get started. In fact, we drank 1 daily for about the first almost 4 months, and then we just kind of graduated to wanting a little bit more out of the product and started to do 2 a day. So, good question.
I will say that for my husband, who, as far as like the soda thing goes, he was literally drinking like the Bang and the all of that, and drinking a bunch of 5-hour energies because he gets up so early and then he stays up so late. My fault. He is only doing one a day right now, and he's surviving without having to feel like he's surviving.
Yeah.
So he was surviving instead of like thriving, and I feel like he's actually thriving and not just surviving now. So that's actually kind of cool. He's liking that he doesn't have the lull in the day, which is what he was feeling like before. So he would like have a Mountain Dew and coffee in the morning, and then he felt like he needed to have a Bang, which is so bad for you. And then he felt like he needed to have a Monster, and he would just keep drinking all of these energy drinks all day. And it literally, I was like, dude, you're gonna literally have your heart explode. He's already on a CPAP machine, you know, he's already overweight and things like that. So I'm like, these energy drinks are literally gonna kill you. So introducing the ketones to him literally day one, this is kind of what sold me on the product, was that like, the fact that he does not need to have all of those other things now is like huge, because my husband is my life. Like, the fact that he's already on a CPAP machine because he can't breathe at night, and then that obviously affects how your heart rate is, and then having those drinks during the day and already not getting enough sleep, like, this is crazy. So on top of the fact that yes, we're losing weight and all of that, like that whole energy thing, like the fact that the ketosis is providing him that extra energy, and he does use the caffeinated, like, huge plus for him that he's not having to have all of those extra things, and he's only using one. And he started this, and I actually realized, I thought he was starting this at 340. He actually started this at 360. So he's actually killing it, guys.
That's freaking, yeah. If you, we've kind of started to geek out on this quite a bit, only because, we have a bit of an athletic, athletics in our background and competition and all the things. But we always had like this health and wellness mindset. And surprisingly, we honestly never even knew what a ketone was before we started, getting involved with this. But if you go to Google and you Google like anything in the health and wellness arena, the top 3 Google searches right now are keto, low carb, and ketones. So it's interesting that, this whole trend around what exactly this is and how this is changing people's lives is now catching up to the Google searches, that, people are starting to educate themselves on, how to actually take advantage of this lifestyle, how to figure it out. The diet, I guess if I were disciplined enough, the diet is, just a really, really good way of doing it. Like, it's just a healthy way to do it, but it's expensive and it's hard. And, we live in a small town up here in Ripon, Wisconsin. We've got one grocery store, and it's a pretty decent grocery store. But even just to find, the keto approved products and the right, really good protein to get those macronutrient levels as high as you possibly can, it's just hard. So this is just a much easier way. If you ever have heard of the Ketogenic Bible, it's a book that's written all things about the ketogenic lifestyle and the diet. It's actually written by Dr. Ryan Lowry and Dr. Jacob Wilson. Those are the 2 research doctors on staff at Prove It that formulate ketones. So this company is the science behind this product and the products that are coming out down the line is way advanced. It's really fun to be part of that piece of it.
I think that's awesome. I'm not gonna lie, like, for me, I'm super busy, and like, I attempted to do the keto diet before, and being when you're not doing it right and how it makes you really feel like crap, like the easy button, I think, is the perfect way to put this without sounding like I'm being a lazy person, because like, I'm not lazy at all. Like, I am literally busy as heck all the time. This just helps me as a mom who literally is busy all the time, who I try to meal plan, and I do. I mean, I have a little meal plan calendar on my fridge. Like, I do my best. But as a mom who literally I want to just feel better, man. Like, I just want to feel better. I want to not wake up in the morning and get in the shower and look at myself and be like, oh, again, like, I feel so disgusting about myself. And I want to wake up and have that energy and be able to play with my kids. And you know, all of these things. And like the fact that that's actually coming back. Well, I'm not even gonna lie, I don't remember the last time I had it. Like the fact that back thanks to the ketones, like, and I'm not having to sit here and be like, okay, today I can have like a third of a strawberry and I can look at a piece of bread and maybe if I smell it, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like those things were really hard for me when I was trying to think about the keto diet. And the fact that I don't have to do all of that now is like awesome. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to sit here and eat a whole row of Oreos like I was before bed every single night before ketones, you know, but yeah.
It's hard. It's very hard. And unless you have the tools too, like a keto mojo to prick your blood, you know, 2-3 times a day to make sure that you're at that ketosis level, you don't even know if you're doing the diet right. So a lot of people are like, oh, I just got to buy the food and prepare the food and eat the food and it'll just happen. No, you really have to manage it and monitor whether or not you're getting the right levels and the right balance of things to get into that state. And then once you get in that state, you got to maintain it. That's the hardest part. So anyways, does anybody
I've
else?
only done 3 of these so far,
Okay.
prepackaged. But these yesterday and today, so I go to school also on top of being a mom and
Yep.
the household and all that. And what I do in the morning, I would get up, go to the kitchen, make my coffee, fill it with cream and sugar.
Yeah.
Then I would be awake, but the awake that I felt yesterday and today was a clearer awake.
Yep.
It wasn't a foggy, my body's awake, but like my mind isn't awake. Like I felt like a clear, I'm actually like, I had energy and not like a foggy kind of energy.
So
Oh,
Hi.
Amanda, this is a typical result of putting your body in ketosis. So a molecule of ketone versus a molecule of sugar will deliver 30% more oxygen to your brain, and that's why you feel that mental clarity and that brain fog sort of lifting. This is your desired state. Like this is where the human body actually wants to be in. And so you're experiencing that, and that's a clean energy, right? It's the ultimate energy source. But it's not that. And believe me, I understand. Although I never really did much of the Red Bull or the Monster, but I've certainly tried them, or even like the 5-hour energy shots. I've tried.
yeah, I don't like energy drinks myself. I was coffee,
Yeah,
coffee with flavoring and cream and sugar and
all the garbage that goes with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still a coffee drinker. I mean, I just love the taste of coffee. But I don't rely on it for energy. It's just it's like a comfort food for me. But yeah, I'm glad you said that because that's what most people experience first is the mental clarity. And again, you can go back in history. I mean, the ketogenic diet's been around for 100 years. Scientists actually researched it for epileptic and Alzheimer patients because they realized that when the body's generating ketones and putting ketosis, they noticed that the brain functioned differently. And that's exactly what you're experiencing. So congrats.
Bill, just to have her reflect back a little bit, Andy, what do you remember what you told me when I sat in your kitchen and brought you a packet on behalf of Tiereny? You're like, but I drink coffee like literally all morning, right? You're like all morning. And then today the message I got from her, or yesterday, she's like, I am very awake, or I feel really awake, or whatever it was, something like that. Like it was like, whoo, she was on fire. Did you need your coffee?
I did not have any coffee yesterday or today.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I will say it is kind of hard. It's almost like when I quit smoking. Like it's a routine that I was in too.
Yes.
Like I would wake up, start my coffee, get my oldest off to school, sit down on my couch and enjoy my coffee. And so it is it's different, to not like trying to break that habit too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I didn't need it.
You know what I
There's a question that I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I found that does it the same way. Like I go to Havana like a psycho. Like they know my order. like I'm crazy. So like I go to Havana every single day and it's weird, but it's like my thing. And so I found like Dawn, thank you. She gave me a bottle. And like for me, it was always like I have to have my coffee cup, right? Like because it's like a cigarette. And I know what you mean because I quit smoking 8 years ago. And like literally I have to have my coffee, right? So now it's my ketones. And if I literally take my bottle everywhere. It was weird. The other day we went to a Mexican restaurant and I literally like went like this and I'm like walking in the restaurant and I got my bottle and Al's like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay. I guess I'll leave it on the thing in the car." Like it's weird. So anyway, sorry, what were you gonna say, Phil?
Well, there was a question in the chat about ketones and the effect of prescription drugs. Ketones, it's an all natural product, right? So it will not contraindicate with any existing medications that you have been prescribed. The only caveat that I would say, and I'm not a medical professional, I don't play one on TV, I don't even try to be one on Zooms like this. Always ask your doctor, for your specific situation, just to, just do the double check. But generally speaking, they do not contraindicate with any medications. The caveat would be type 1 and type 2 diabetics. Those people in particular, if you have type 2 diabetes, like I'm going to tell you, like off the record, you're going to have an amazing experience and eventually get off your meds. I can't say that on the record, but just work with your professional on your specific situation. If you're type 1 diabetics, just so everybody knows, type 1 diabetes, you're born with it, and most of them have insulin pumps and are regulated hourly on their insulin levels. Their body just can't do it on its own. And so ketones will have an potential adverse effect for those types of people. And so they have to really work closely with their medical professionals. But in your situation, Ashley, there shouldn't be any issue, but just do a double check with your doctor and you should be fine. You bet. What else? You guys have great questions. And that's the cool thing about this, and even after we hang up, if anybody has any questions, like, oh shoot, I wish I would have asked, Dawn obviously has been along this journey for quite some time with us, and she knows, if she doesn't know the answer, she knows where to get it. She can hunt us down. You can always reach out to Erica and I too. We're always happy to help. And I think a lot of people say, well, how the heck do I start? Where do I get started? I mean, honestly, do yourself a favor. At a minimum, do the 10-day drink ketones challenge. If you haven't been introduced to how to purchase ketones, Tiereny and Dawn can help you. But there is this box of ketones. It's a variety pack, 20 packs of ketones, a variety of flavors. So you kind of get the little, taste test of what the different flavors taste like. 10 of them are caffeinated, right? 10 of them are caffeine free. So you get to kind of see how those work for you with the caffeine and without. Generally speaking, the caffeinated ones are the ones that people have in the morning, and the caffeine-free ones in the afternoon. Again, generally speaking, I could literally take this raspberry lemonade one, which is a charge. I could drink that right now and fall asleep at 8 o'clock. That, for me, that's not a problem. But some people are like, oh no, like Erica, if she has this at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, she won't be able to sleep tonight, right? So everybody's a little bit different. But the challenge box is really designed to give people the experience of what it's like to put their body in ketosis through the drink. And that's, in my opinion, the best place to start. Sometimes though, if people are like, caffeine's, that's not my jam. I don't even want the caffeinated ones. Well, you can buy flavored boxes that are just caffeine free. Or, there's always that possibility, especially since Dawn and Tiereny are local. You could get the challenge box and they can just swap out those caffeinated ones with caffeine-free ones for you. Or we have a pantry full of ketones too. We can always help out. So that's probably, just from a starting point, the easiest way to get yourself going is to try that challenge box and experience it for yourself.
Tiereny, did you get Jennifer her 10-day challenge or her 10-day?
Edgar?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, she messaged me yesterday and because I had commented on your post or whatever and said that I got 5 or whatever. And she said she got them. So hey, hold on, honey. Yeah, just so she's like, okay, well, hopefully she'll deliver it today, but I hadn't talked to her today, so I didn't know if she got it or whatever. So
Yes, I need to order more samples. Holy
Yeah, that you know, that's the hardest part when you become the local keto dealer is everybody knows where you live and they know what you got. The best way, I mean, honestly, and you've noticed this too, like it's great that the samples are made available because I mean, look, you bought the mega bundle. But yeah, I mean, ordering that 10-day drink ketones challenge, and have it delivered to your house, that's the best place to start. I mean, and it's no judgment, like we shared a challenge box to start with, so everybody starts at their own place and has their own budget.
We don't recommend it. but-
I always recommend
Yeah.
get 2 challenge boxes so you can get through your first month.
Yeah.
And then honestly, just from my heart to you know, from me to you, like give yourself a good 3 months of trying ketones. Everyone's different, everybody's body's different, everyone's starting point's different. You know, Erica and I are, you know, at the higher end of age, you know, we're pushing 50, not 30. And so we have, you know, in some instances, 20 years of eating crap. That's a lot different than other people. So, you know, our body adapted a little bit, you know, over a period of time. But now that we are keto adapted, thankfully, we just kept going and continue to go. So, I always tell people, look, set yourself up for success. Ketones work for everyone. They just do. You can't debate the science behind the product. They work. I can't tell you when you're going to have that, you know, whatever it is you're looking for out of ketones. It might be on day 1, it might be on day 4. Amanda's already experiencing the mental clarity on day 3. Yeah, we felt it too. Like on day 4, like I literally looked at Erica and I said, we need to talk about what the heck we're drinking because I feel freaking amazing. And she's like, oh my gosh, me too. So I totally remember that feeling, Amanda. So, but yeah, I mean, set yourself up for success, and it's you'll thank yourself for sure. And that's typically what most people. And then once you get to that point, then really the sky's the limit. You just got to figure out how to bring the cost of the ketones down to where you need it to be. And there's a customer loyalty and a customer referral program that's set up to help with some of that, and all sorts of ways to get creative there.
I echo what Bill says. I would even go further and say, if you can see this as a $5 daily drink for yourself, you know, out of the gate, rough and tumble, that's really what it is. And, you know, so many ladies have said to me, that's it. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, one of my Starbucks coffees is almost $7.50. And so everybody has their thing, whether it's Starbucks, whether it's bowling night, and then you get there and you do that thing with your friends, and you don't just have one of what your choice is, you have 5 or 6 because you stay there for 4 hours. It's kind of a little look in the mirror. I mean, this is kind of like a little philosophical share that I'm giving you. The experience that you're giving yourself is for something you want more than something you want now. And if you're ready for that, that has to come within you for sure. But what's going to freak you out is that it will start happening for you so quickly with ketones, because you do just light up. Like your mindset like becomes better than you have felt in a long time. So then you're like, wow, I just feel better. Well, when you feel better, you can chase after what you want. You can propel yourself forward. You can baby step out of not being perfect your first or even second week, you guys. Please, I would say, don't clean out your pantry. Don't go to the grocery store and try to buy everything low carb, from tortillas to whatever. That literally will sabotage your success at the beginning. We say, pretend you don't know us, like, which is strange because now you know us, but like, pretend you didn't do this call and Tiereny handed these to you and she goes, I care about you a lot. Go home and drink one every day for 7 days. Poof. She didn't tell you all the things. She just told you, if you trust me, mix it with water and drink it. And you will all have a moment where something occurs to you, like something's happening and I can't put my finger on it at your own day. But Bill said 3-month dedication. It's really true. Even if it was a diet, right around that mark, 90 days, you're like, wow, I'm noticing I'm different. Or people say something to you if you think, I don't really see it. And then a friend, sees you at the store and says, oh my gosh, Carissa, is that you? Is that you? I recognize you. What are you doing? That'll happen to everybody. But I even say it becomes a shift. And it
Yeah.
becomes something that within 6 months, you really are probably going to be at that place that you already picture yourself believing that this product will
Okay.
take you to.
Guys.
It 100% will be, it will happen. And the science of the pack, like Bill said, every human being that puts this with water and consumes it is a nutritional ketosis fact. You have to fill in the puzzle piece of kind of meeting where the science is actually taking you just a little bit, but do it the way you want to do it. Do it slow, medium, or fast, or what do we say? Good, better, best.
Yeah. So, and I'm just going to just build on that because Selena asked a really good question. Like, what are the stages? Do I just start with NAT and then do I graduate to something else? Not really. And that's the cool thing about it. This isn't like a Thrive or an Optavia or like a weight loss, Weight Watchers program where you got to get past level 1 to get to level 2. And this pack puts you in ketosis within an hour of drinking it. It keeps you there 5 to 6 hours. Optimal experience is graduating from 1 pack a day to 2 packs a day. When you're ready, if you need 3 packs in a day, which some days you might, you can do that. But really, there's not this concept of, okay, well, once I get, to this point, I go to a different product. There are other products, and I don't want to confuse people. They are ketone products, and there's just a little bit different technology. For example, and this isn't it, but they sell a carbonated keto up drink, which is ketones in a carbonated beverage. It's the same. It's similar. It's not exactly the same. It's not a powdered salt. It's a free cell technology, but the result is still it puts you in ketosis. But it's not like, after 6 months of drinking this, then I go to the carbonated version or a different product. So that's the cool thing about it. That's also the cool thing about Prove It. There's not a catalog of 55 million different products that are keto related. There's some complementary products that are available that really complement putting your body into the state of ketosis and the keto life. But it's not confusing or challenging to stay with it, I should say. And then, yeah, Brooke, you asked about thyroid. Dawn will grab you. We have some amazing doctors that are part of the Prove It community that do weekly Facebook lives, and they talk about just about every medical condition under the sun. And the thyroid one is one that comes up quite a bit. And so you're going to get yourself educated on the advantages of drinking ketones no matter what your thyroid issue is. Ketones they're produced here in America. The warehouse and distribution and lab is in Melissa, Texas. All USA based. However, we distribute in 32 different countries around the world. All out of Melissa, Texas.
And the headquarter for the company, where there's customer support, where there's Prove It gear, where there's cool swag and merch and all of that stuff, shaker bottles, all of that. And really where like the corporate beginnings of Prove It is headquartered is in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, Selena, the keto up is absolutely, especially if you like carbonated beverages. The keto up, the carbonated version, only comes in caffeinated, so there's no caffeine free version, and there's a variety of flavors that are super yummy. I have one every morning.
Yeah. Keto up puts your body, it's called rapid uptake, so it puts your body like you can test your blood quicker, like you'll measure in ketosis. That's a geeko thing and a science thing, and you don't have to test your blood when you do this, but it's something that for those that have done the keto diet, they understand it's a regimen, or if they're diabetic, to test their blood levels.
Yeah.
And anyways, so it's a really easy little finger prick, and you just put it on the pad and it slides into this little machine. They're called Keto Mojos. You can go on Amazon and buy one. If any of you need that third part, or, you know, the validation of the science of ketosis. Wow, geeking out. Like, this is really cool. I want to see if I'm in ketosis. You can buy that. Anyways, Keto Up is a faster technology. So the company, or it's called free cell technology, I should say. So
Yeah.
a pack of NAT, within 60 minutes of drinking NAT, you're in nutritional ketosis. When you drink that carbonated can, within 10 minutes, you're in ketosis. Not that, you know, you're like, wow, I've got to get in ketosis in 10 minutes. I got to get there. You know, it's just a fact of the science that because the ketones are, it's not a salt, so it doesn't need to bind in your body. It's literally free cells. So when you're liquid drinking the Keto Up, you're instantly taking it up to your brain and you're in nutritional ketosis. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. And honestly, the cost of the Keto Up used to be a lot more than it is today. Prove It recently took on the canning of that product versus having a third-party canning company.
Yeah.
So you can literally buy a case of Keto Up for the same price as the NAT.
Yeah.
The only difference is that the shipping's a little bit more, obviously, because it's a liquid and it's a can. But yeah, it's an amazing way to get into ketosis, especially if you like carbonated beverages.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are asking great questions. I love this. Tiereny, I knew you had great friends. I didn't realize how smart they were too.
They're excited about ketones.
Heck yeah. So anybody else have any other questions?
Did you guys cover this, Marcia? Oh, except on back end.
Oh yeah, Dawn jumped out, I guess. No.
I think okay, there she is.
If you decide like something you want to do like during the week, like you don't want to hold yourself to it or like do it on the weekends. Like let's say you do it for 5 days, you don't do it Saturday, Sunday, you start back Monday. Is that going to like negatively affect you in any way, or you just won't get the full effect? Or
Yeah, that's right. It's not like a well, it's not like the keto diet, right? Like if you quit the keto diet on Friday night and then say you're gonna pick it up on Monday, it doesn't work that way with the diet. You literally have to see if you're gonna start on Monday again, you're gonna take a good 3, 4, 5 days to even get back into ketosis. It literally takes that long. With the drink, if I stop on Friday and pick it up on Monday, over the weekend, I'm just not gonna get the benefits. I'm not gonna have the good energy, the better mood, the better sleep, the better mental clarity, the fat loss, you know, the fat burning mechanism through the weekend. So you're going to put everything on pause for those days. But then on Monday, when you put this in water, shake it up and put it into your body, you're back into ketosis within 1 hour of drinking it. And then you're getting all of the benefits again. Would I recommend taking time off? I don't see any reason why you would.
Well, are you thinking like social aspect, like girls' weekend, wedding, vacation, or
kind of. So normally like during the week, I'm usually up at like 7, and like Dawn and I had talked about this. Like I will get up at 7 and then I usually don't eat until noon.
Sure.
I'm an eater, so she's like, that would be a great time to do it. But then like on the weekends, we do tend to sleep in
Sure.
till like, between 9 and 10 if my kids allow. And so then I get up at like 9 or 10, and then if I drink it then I'm eating by noon, and it's kind of like.
So, okay, this is such a great question, Amanda. Really good that you brought this up. The ketone, I know Bill keeps holding up the pack, and now I feel like I need to hold up the pack. Okay. This has zero idea what time of day it is. Zero. You do, but okay, so I mean, that's like an obvious statement, not to like dumb it down and to say it to you that way, like, duh, you know that, but we're so caught up from other things that work and have to be consumed at a certain time. Any time of 0:30 or 0:00 that you drink this, they work.
Mhm.
So on a weekend, it's no different. And then if you're saying, well, but I eat sooner, or it's completely irrelevant. You could drink this before, during, or after a meal. You could drink it a half hour before a meal, 10 minutes before a meal, 30 minutes after a meal, an hour after a meal. The theory or strategy, right, is to drink this more than likely within a couple of hours before a meal because of the appetite suppression. It's going to make you have more willpower to not overeat. And also that process happens as you drink these 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. By your third week, you will honestly be saying, I am literally not hungry at all. Like, it's weird. You will still want to eat. I'm not trying to go to the other end. I don't want anybody to think I'm promoting you're never going to want to eat. You will want to eat, but you will kind of say, this is like seriously bizarre. I barely ate this morning. I barely ate for lunch, and I really don't know what I'm hungry for dinner. The key, listen to that. When you have days like that that are indicating to you that you're not hungry, you're living off of body fat, like it's wild, like, like you're burning your fat as a fuel source, your body's doing okay. It's surviving, it's fueling your brain, and you have energy because you're fueling yourself that way. But back to your original statement, don't you worry on the weekend. If you trust me, probably you'll still want to drink it because you'll almost crave it. So it's okay. Don't feel guilty about, we made pancakes and had a special weekend meal because the kids wanted that. Or gosh, I was off 2 hours from my weekday. It literally never, ever is an indicator of this, if this pack will work or if you will mess it up. You'll never mess it up. Here's how you mess it up. You don't drink it.
It's never.
I was just wondering, like, because if I like start drinking it and then noon rolls around and I have a lunch, like a plate of pasta or, something like that. Like, I didn't want to I didn't want to give it, I didn't want to not give it its opportunity.
You don't want
to do all that it needs to, like I didn't want to damper it, you know.
You don't want to take away its power. Like, you don't want to set, like, you don't want to waste it. Like, you're putting it in and then you're going to go eat that. Well, trust me, we'll test it out. And that's a great question too. I always tell people, well, again, like we never gave you all these rules, which that's what we're here for. And so I'm glad we're giving you a little intel about what to expect. But let's say you didn't, you would start to figure it out on your own. So at least now you're hearing it from us so we can validate that how you'll feel. You still might think, okay, I want that pasta. It probably won't taste the same to you. You probably won't eat as much of it, and you'll be satisfied with half of the portion you were used to. And then you'll be like, wow, that's an indicator like that something's changed. You can still have the carbs in the pasta when you eat this. This will still be putting you in ketosis. But if you would test, you probably wouldn't measure on the Keto Mojo, the blood test, like really high.
Okay.
But it wouldn't knock you out. It wouldn't sabotage this because your brain is going to uptake the ketones and use them. So your brain will say, oh, I'm in ketosis. I literally feel like a rock star. I have mental clarity and focus. Whoa, I feel good. I feel good. And when you eat that meal, it will not sabotage it. It just won't. It's such a good question. But now I'm going to go to what you didn't ask, but to what I thought maybe you were going to reference. There's so many ladies that'll say, it's a girls' weekend, or blah, blah, blah is getting married. And so we're doing this on this and this, and it all involves like social events that surround, food and alcohol and this and that. I've had so many people also say, well, we're going camping this weekend. And so I don't know if I'm going to drink it, or I don't, or they go camping and they're like, I didn't drink it. That's completely up to you. But many people find like they can still drink one of these sometime in their day. And then when the social hour of camping starts, whether it's by the pool, the hiking trail, or around the campfire at night, you can still be a human and socially do that other activity of having fun with other social drinks. But if you go off the ketones because you just don't want to have them on one of those social weekends and you come back to them on Monday,
If someone's important enough, I'll remember their name.
It is a-okay. It is a-okay to do that.
That's a really good question, Amanda.
And most of the girls in that class are not twins.
Jennifer's back. So
I'm back.
Yeah. So the only other thing I'll say, and again, if anybody has any other questions, we literally we'll just stay on. It's we go to bed at 9. No, just kidding. But
Never tones in a sense. And one of the things that we talked about when we were at that Monona thing is that you never have to really overthink it when you're eating and when you're doing this. Like, I mean, obviously you want to try to, like, no matter what, we're all trying to think healthier, but like tonight we had pancakes for dinner. So it's funny that you referenced that.
Yeah.
I'm eating right now. I hope you don't mind.
it's all good.
But like, I feel like the times that I've not been successful in wanting to feel better is when I've overthought food. And I think that stress brings the things that, like that, it does that to my brain. So like the ketosis is helping when you are eating that stuff. So just remember that, give yourself a little leeway when it comes to that. But I will say, like, yeah, usually I'm that girl that's going to eat the stack of pancakes that's like this high. Tonight, I had 2 pancakes that were like this big. And I was like, oh, I'm so full.
Yeah.
It does make you like eat the smaller portions, and like, you don't really want all the extra stuff. And really, I'm craving more of like the salad, and I'm craving more of like the lean meats and stuff like that. So
Those
It's working.
those those are ketone triggers. I mean, and you again, that's why when I'll come back to that sort of that give yourself 3 months, you'll start to realize your relationship with food. You'll start to realize what you're craving and what you're not. And if you listen to those signals that the ketones are giving you, the answers are there. You're like, oh my gosh, like literally, I just ordered a cheeseburger at Culver's, and I looked at the bun, and then I looked at my significant other, and then I looked at the bun. I'm like, I'm not even sure I can do this. It's very hard to explain until you experience it, but it is those triggers that start to happen. Same with pasta. Anything that's carbohydrate or sugar driven, you just realize. And then you start to educate yourself on the American diet and all the preservatives and where our food is actually coming from. Ketones is the willpower. It's the trigger that gets your mind straight. And then if you start focusing on eating clean, eating whole foods, protein and vegetables, which is pretty much all you need in ketones, I mean, things just start to just completely change. And so again,
It's really easy to say double cheeseburger, no bun, and lettuce, tomato, onion on top, and you just kind of grab that, and I flip it on my side salad, and I have a burger salad.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like, you guys will all do your own little dietary changes and eat the things you eat and not want to eat the things anymore. Some things don't go away that you love. Like, don't get me wrong, I guess what would be some good examples? Like, whatever, like we still eat food that we've always eaten.
I had French fries with my fish fry last
There you
Friday.
go. Cheese curds,
had ice
something
cream
like
tonight.
that, That's the coolest piece. Tiereny nailed it. A diet changes, it's restrictive.
You would have.
And then it involves like guilt. And this is like, have a nibble, have dark chocolate, have cheese curds, have onion rings, go to the fair and enjoy that. And like mix up a pack and you're back in ketosis.
So the only other thing I want to make sure that everyone understands, or at least understands the concept when purchasing ketones. So I mentioned the 10-day drink ketones challenge. So this is what the box looks like. That's normally where the entry level piece is when people come in to purchase ketones. The default is what's referred to as a subscribe and save option. We commonly refer to it as the Smart Chip program. That program entitles you to significant benefits that I think you should just be aware of. 22% off discount on your ketones. So a normal box of ketones is $130. When you buy them on Smart Chip, it's $101.40. It basically brings up a drink of ketones to about $5 plus tax and shipping. It also, the SmartShip program comes with a loyalty benefit. So every 3 months that you're on SmartShip, the fourth month, you get a free box of ketones. So it's like $100 value every fourth month, 8th month, 12th month, 16th month, so on and so forth. You get a free box of ketones. It's just a customer loyalty benefit for being on SmartShip. The other
By the way,
thing,
real quick, you don't get to pick what you get.
oh, I'm
You
sorry.
don't get to pick if it's caffeine or no caffeine. I just mentioned that, but it's always a wonderful surprise. It's always a great flavor. It's typically one of the awesome seasonal flavors or just something that's very popular. And if you get something that you're like, I've never tried this, you typically are like, that's amazing because I've never tried that box before, and voila, it came to my door. But you don't get to pick out what that flavor is.
Yeah. And then the third benefit is a customer referral benefit. So that's not like doing the business or like becoming a promoter like Tiereny, Dawn, and us. That is an option and something that if anyone's interested, we can certainly talk to you about what that looks like. But the customer referral benefit is for everybody on SmartShip. When you become a customer, you get your own referral code. It's your own personalized code that you can use to share with others. And as you share with any family, friends, coworkers, neighbors, so on and so forth, if 2 additional people use your referral code on SmartShip, you get at a minimum a free box of ketones every month their order processes. I say a minimum, there's actually some math behind it. They actually, because you don't just have to stop at using 2 people, like you could sign up 30 people using your code. What Prove It'll do is it'll take the average of the 2 highest orders and then give that to you as sort of like Monopoly money, Prove It dollars to spend on your ketones. So it's not uncommon. We've introduced quite a few people who drink ketones under the SmartShip program who literally get a few $100s in free product every single month by using that customer referral benefit. So I just want everyone to be mindful of that, especially when it comes to kind of thinking about, well, how the heck do I buy and what is the subscribe and save and what are the cost saving opportunities? Those are it. The SmartShip customers are the ones that are entitled to benefits. They're also entitled to, as like VIP or sales come up from time to time. Those are generally reserved for those that are part of the SmartShip program. So, so yeah, that's basically how you do it.
And I saw Dawn answered that questions. I'm sorry, I forget who asked it up above, but Brooke did. Yeah, you're awesome that you're in that local market, so you can definitely have your friends there, Tiereny and Dawn, swap you out. By the way, Prove It does allow product to be returned. It doesn't happen often, but I would say first reach out to your community like Tiereny or Dawn. If you don't like a flavor, just literally be honest, because no reason to ship it back to the company. So then it's like, just, oh, I'll swap you out. Yeah, so that's a great question. And are you allowed to use it?
What do you?
Ashley, expand a little bit more there, like a social.
So the question was, are you allowed to use it when
I don't
you're
understand.
traveling or hiking? So when you're hiking, absolutely. Any sort of workout, physical activity, ketones, it's a fuel source, right? So it's for energy first. So
Yeah.
absolutely. Traveling, if you're asking about,
Oh, the discount code. Oh, yeah. So are you allowed to share it like when you're places, like traveling or hiking, like use your customer referral code anywhere?
you can use it worldwide, Ashley. If you've got friends in Singapore, Australia, Britain, Canada, Mexico.
The discount code, yeah. Many people say, well, I want to see what it does for me first, and then I'll see if I'm going to tell somebody. And we're like, great, that's amazing. You should drink it for yourself and see if you're going to tell somebody. And then like within a week, they're like, I went to work and I told everyone.
Yeah.
We're like, and then they'll say, what is that referral code again? It will surprise you. It will sneak up on you because when you feel good, you tell people. When you eat a great pizza someplace, you tell people. Like literally, I can't tell you how many times I have told people in my life, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We all do that. Oh my gosh, have you been to Target? They have the cutest blah, blah, blah. So watch out, it'll come out of you because ketones, you know, the benefits are just insane. You'll feel great. So, I mean, really, to be truthful, the referral benefit is an incredible benefit. It's not like a willy-nilly, you get a $5 or $10 coupon, which we have that from a lot of other stores that you're like, okay, you know, whatever it might be, is their kickback as a thank you to you. Prove It gives you a $100 box of ketones free every single month. You're on Subscribe and Save or Smart Ship because you want to get your ketones to your front door with your other Amazon boxes. So let's get your ketones to your front door. In the same way, it's a commitment, or it feels, you know, like a commitment only if you make it feel that way. Like if you're drinking ketones, you need them to come to your house every month. So just like any other product, you just say, yep, put it onto my front door or charge my card on this date. And then it'll show up at your front door within a few days. When you've got two friends, family, coworkers, people you've met anywhere that find out about ketones from you and you've given them your referral link, if they choose to go forth and drink them and do the same thing, you get a free box.
Yep.
every single month that those two people are on the Smart Ship program and you are.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
At a minimum, many people earn more than a free box.
So I'll let Erica answer the coffee question,
That's okay, Ashley.
but Ashley, so yes, so that's okay. You've got brain mush. You need ketones, so we'll check that box for you.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, you can share your referral code wherever you want, blog, social media. But listen, maybe have a conversation with offline. There's some strategies there that we just want to make you mindful of things that work well and things that maybe don't work quite as well. I don't love the idea of like blasting out your referral link on social media. And here's why. How many of you knew about ketones before Tiereny or Dawn introduced you to them? Like literally, have you heard of ketones before? I'm going to guess probably 90% of you have not. Just like 90% of people in general have never even heard of ketones. And so yes, you can share your link that way, but generally speaking, people are going to hit your link and they're not going to know what it is and they're not going to understand how it fits their life. And so usually there's a little bit different way of socializing that to get people interested and educated so they know what it is and how they can apply it to their life. So happy to chat offline with you. The sky's the limit, especially if you have a blog or you have a social media presence. And so maybe let's just chat offline on how you could take full advantage of that. Do you want to ask the coffee question? Answer the coffee question?
Oh, what is it?
Right here.
Yeah. Well, we still drink coffee, and you can still drink coffee. Coffee's not evil. Coffee is actually beneficial. And more specifically, if it's black coffee, it actually kind of gives ketones a ride. Like caffeine gives ketones a little ride up to your brain. But coffee is completely acceptable on this journey when you're drinking ketones. The problem that more people have with coffee, not calling you out because I don't know how you drink your coffee, but like, again, you know, national brand chains and the way that people drink their coffee is the ratio is way more sugar and caramel and everything else, you know, than actual coffee. And so you're not doing yourself any favors if your coffee is super overly sugared and kind of has all that extra gunk in it. But like we drink coffee and a little dollop of creamer every morning, 1 to 2 cups. We've not given it up. We probably just won't. But some people have chosen to. Some people have said, gosh, I'm really trying to swap out my coffee. I have felt like for a long time, like I want to see if I can get off of the caffeine in the morning and feel good without it. And they'll transition to a caffeinated ketone, but then they'll try to transition to an uncaffeinated ketone. So, okay, so you don't do sugar, but creamer. Yep, and we do creamer. We do International House Delight, hazelnut. I've turned over every creamer in the grocery store because I love looking at the ingredients now because I've been much more mindful of doing that over the last couple of years. And there's a lot of new products that keep showing up on shelves. You'll probably all say, yeah, I go to Walmart and I'm always seeing some new oat creamer or some bean pod creamer or whatever it might be, because the market is becoming more saturated with products that people are actually becoming, making healthier choices towards. So, but ours is 5 grams of sugar, and I don't know, like, it's okay.
It's the international hazelnut creamer. We've
Yeah.
drinking it. We added that coffee for 20 years. So
Yeah. It's a great question.
Hey, Tierney, thank you for the invite. I got a lot of good info, but I gotta hop off.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
Amanda.
Amanda.
Nice to meet you guys.
After this, you guys, just in case any need to hop off, I'm gonna do the little wheel spin. I am gonna give a free 5-day sample pack for everybody, I appreciate everybody getting on. So if anybody does need to put their kids to bed or go to bed, I'm gonna do that, and I will go ahead and send whoever it is, but I'm gonna do it live, or I'm gonna put on video and put it on Facebook so that you guys know that this is legit, like I'm not faking out or anything. So I'll put it on there. I'm not gonna like blast your last names out there so nobody knows your personal business, but that way you guys know who won. Okay.
All right, so I'll be in there. I'll be
You
in the
are
spin.
here as Mandy, not
Yep,
Amanda.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye. Well, I can actually do it right now if you want.
Yeah,
Oh,
go
what?
for it.
Here, I'll turn my camera around.
Yeah, let's do it.
All
Yeah.
right.
Look at that.
That's very cool.
I'm taking a picture.
All right. Carissa. Hello.
Carissa. Woo.
Yay, thank you.
All right.
Wait, what is that for?
Okay, do it again.
Hey, how come my name's not on there? Just kidding.
I don't know how to turn my camera back around. Oh, look at that.
Well, you guys have been awesome. So anybody else have any other questions before we hop off? Well, like I said earlier, if anybody thinks of something after the fact, Erica and I are very accessible. Just go on Tiereny's Facebook page, look up William Schultz or Erica Schultz. You'll find us at her friend list. Otherwise, she can put you in contact with us. Otherwise, Dawn and Tiereny are, I mean, you're in great hands with both of them. So anyways.
One last question. Is it typically just 1 drink a day?
Oh, sure.
Did you guys cover that a little earlier?
We did, but just to revisit. So to start with, absolutely, you can just drink 1 a day. 1 pack of ketones will put you in ketosis. You'll stay there for about 5 to 6 hours. The optimal experience, one that you'll potentially gravitate towards, would be 2 ketones a day. Erica and I drank 1 ketone a day for about the first 3, almost 4 months. And then we decided to, gravitate towards the optimal experience by drinking 2 ketones daily. But yeah, you can definitely start with 1 and just kind of see what your experience is, how your body is adapting to being in ketosis, and then just kind of go from there. So that's a great question. Most people start with 1 a day. I mean, it's a great place to start, and then just kind of work with what you're feeling and any questions you have on your experience with us, and we can help you kind of adjust from there. So.
And wondering, those pictures I posted are one a day.
That's amazing.
It's interesting. Like I said, most people have an amazing results with 1 a day. I again, without kind of knowing exactly how you're going to feel, I can tell when I need my second one, and it's not like a crash, but we just got so accustomed to what it feels like to be in ketosis that I kind of know like when I need that second one. But we have people in our community that literally have drank 1 a day for quite some time and have an amazing body comp results. So putting your body in ketosis, especially since it probably hasn't been there for the majority of your life since you were born, you'll get the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, you guys are great.
Thank you, Erica, Bill, Dawn. So I appreciate you guys so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you for doing the Zoom. I think it's like the easiest thing for people to be cozy and safe at home, especially with predicted snow and ice. But these calls are just the best way for the questions to just organically come, because people can only take in so much information, and the platform of us just kind of having a conversation, just all of a sudden one person asks it and they're like, oh great, that was what I was kind of thinking about. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
So it's just really natural and super easy breezy on these calls to learn.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
So if you want to do a couple more, I mean, honestly, I know some people weren't able to join. Just let us know. We're always available. Happy to do it.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Selena, I love you. I know that sometimes group messages can be overwhelming, so I'm so glad that Zoom.
Awesome. Well, have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Bye,
Yep.
have a good night.
Krista, we'll
Bye,
be
thank you.